can ask. We can just talk. Hi. Well, our second podcast. Yay! And today's guest is Madina. Welcome to the office.
Thank
How
you.
was coming to Oita Midtown?
Well, it feels great. I feel like I'm a part of a big thing.
Yeah. Well, you're part of a 9 people audience right now.
Yay!
Hopefully, it's
That's
gonna get
big.
bigger.
It will, hopefully.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I forgot to put my voice down.
That's fine.
I could hear myself.
Right, so, yeah, how are you today?
I am great. The weather is lovely today. Yeah.
Can we just celebrate the fact that the semester, we're in quarter break, everyone? Sabina? Sabina?
Yes.
Sabina is watching right now. Sabina, otsukare-sama desu. How was the semester? Wait, third year, first semester?
Third year,
Yeah,
first
like us.
semester. Well,
How was it?
I would say it was full of changes. I would say. Yeah, I just moved from the the dormitory AP house,
Yeah.
and then it was new city. Well, online classes and 6 major classes in 1 quarter,
Yeah,
full
yeah.
of group work, I would say.
But so you said you just came out of AP house, so you were still in RA.
Yes,
Until-
I stayed there for 2 years, which was pretty long, and yeah, it was a
How
big
was that?
change.
How was that? Respectfully, how was that?
Well, you used to be RA.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Yeah, you know it better than anyone. But yeah, it was full of experience, different experience, I would say. I met a lot of people. I made some good friends.
Yeah.
Not too many, but really good friends.
Yeah, AP house at the end because of COVID was a little bit like.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason. So in case there's people that are not from APU or Japan, let's just do a small introduction and then continue with the conversation, because I'm not too sure if all the audience is people
Yeah,
from Japan.
definitely,
So
yeah.
my name is Anthony. I'm 26 years old. I'm a third year student in APU, which is Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University in Japan. I've been living in Japan for 6 years. Speak Japanese fluently, English fluently, French fluently as well. And yeah, that's it. I work at Oita Midtown. We'll introduce Oita Midtown after. I'll just go with Melvin second.
Right, my name is Melvin. I'm a third year student at Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University in Japan. I'm 22. What am I? Am I 22?
You're already 22, bro.
All right,
Ask
I'm,
me.
I'm 22. I keep thinking that I'm 21.
Okay.
Well, I work together with Tony as well, so I'll pass it to Madina.
Thank you. Well, I'm Madina. I'm from Uzbekistan, but I don't work here, and I've been here for how long? I'm in Japan for almost 2.5 years, and yeah, I'm third year student like everyone
Yeah.
else here is, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I met these guys at the AP house, the topic that we
So you met
started.
at AP house as well?
Yes.
Didn't know
Oh,
that.
I met her.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew about her before even
Yeah.
meeting.
I knew
yeah.
her. I never saw your name on the Facebook group when we joined the university, but I remember
Because I don't talk in
seeing-
there.
Yeah, you weren't in.
You see the
Oh, really?
quiet one.
I've never said anything in the group.
That's why. Yeah, because I remember Medina wrote something at some point, I guess, but
Yeah, I did, right.
so
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that she's a very extroverted person, unlike me.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit afraid
yeah,
to. not a
extrovert,
little bit.
extrovert,
I
introvert.
was
Introvert.
extremely afraid to post something about myself.
Introvert right now on live.
Yeah, but we can just applaud our friend Melvin here, because I guess a lot of effort to become an extrovert. Because
Yeah.
in the past year I worked with him on Oita Midtown, which is this channel here,
Mhm.
and in 1 year it's just insane. I remember the first week
Yeah.
I saw him, I was like, gonna have problem with this guy. He doesn't talk enough.
He does not talk much, huh?
Now we complain
Yeah,
that I talk too much.
next thing you know, we're both leaders together. So
Now you
that's good.
cannot shut him up, huh?
So anyway, thank you for coming. So let us
Thank you
just
for
introduce
having me.
Oita Midtown Channel. So the
Go
Oita
ahead.
Midtown Channel, we're presenting our prefecture in Japan, which is called Oita. We basically show touristic spots, gourmet place. We go do activities as well. Half a year we did it with 5 people. Some of them are students that are now 4th year, so they're looking for a job and graduating soon. So the team is just me and Melvin now, but we always have a guest, or we try to always have a guest on the show. And the guest is usually from countries that we are not from and not from Japan. And our goal is just to show the prefecture of Oita to foreigners, because most foreigners just go to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and stuff like that. So, if you come to Japan, it's worth going to the outskirts, and we hope to pique your interest, I guess, with our videos. Hi.
Hi.
Speech is over. Melvin, you have something to add?
Not at the moment. What do you want to talk about?
Well, okay, so I just want to finish the talk about AP House. So
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
we're at APU students, and then there's a dormitory for students that are from foreign country, because basically we don't speak Japanese, right? So we live in dormitories so that we can be supported by the university. And at some point we got used to Japan, so then we became kind of leaders in this house, and then we were helping students. But the problem was, as everyone knows, 1 year ago, COVID hit, and then
Yes.
nobody was in AP House. So
Nobody was.
we were basically living in a ghost house.
Yeah, that's what everyone started calling it.
Yeah.
Because there were not many people
Yeah.
there. There
And
was
nothing
not
to
much
do.
to do, yeah. And also we were not encouraged to go out or do anything at that point. So yeah, it was some like hard
Yeah,
time.
it was. Well, I mean, COVID changed everyone, whether
Yeah.
you live in the dorm or
It's
not.
not just us.
But it was just like, I remember, so it happened about February in Japan, where it started to first
Yeah.
move, right? And I just remember like when we were starting to get locked in our room, right? And they
Yeah.
said like, don't go out, don't go eating out and whatever. And
Yeah, I managed to go back to Malaysia for 2 weeks. I came back to Japan right before the lockdown in Malaysia started, which was
I was
very
lucky.
fortunate.
yeah, you told me like you just came back like weeks just before
2
the
days before.
2 days before
Yeah.
the lockdown.
Like the day before I came back was the day when they announced the total lockdown in Malaysia, which is
Wait,
also happening.
Malaysia is getting kind of hit by COVID right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Am I
the
wrong?
highest in Southeast Asia right now
Yeah.
per million person.
That's crazy.
Yeah, per million.
Family's
people.
fine?
Family's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I just saw the news today actually, like Malaysia is even worse than India right now.
Yeah, it's going
Wow.
into full lockdown again in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the vaccine in
3
Malaysia?
days. Vaccine, I think, yeah, it's going pretty well. I would say even better than Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, like I said, like when I came back to Japan, it was really boring and nothing else to do. I didn't go to my part-time job as well.
Freak.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
Yeah,
I
that's,
remember.
our university classes started late as well, and
Mhm.
what else? Like in the summer, we didn't have the chance to go anywhere as well.
Yeah, we were stuck.
Yeah, like it was a weird experience in the first month, because like Japan, again, like for people that don't live in Japan or whatever, didn't really react too much afterwards for COVID, right? Everything was kind of open, but just put your mask on and wash your
Yeah.
hands. And then, but in the beginning, it was really strict at APU. Like it was well, even still, if you're not a student of AP House, you cannot go inside AP House, right? But
Yeah, that is
it was
true.
pretty mollo in the beginning, and then it got harsh, and then now it's pretty open compared to other countries. Because just in Canada, for me, the restaurants reopened yesterday. They were closed for like half a year.
Wow.
Insane.
I mean, in Japan, like in most of the like I think prefectures right now, there is like the how to say the shops
Yeah.
just close earlier
Yeah.
than normal.
Oh, that's recent.
yeah.
That's very recent for Oita. Yeah, for
Yeah,
people
that
that don't
is.
know, Oita was never on lockdown really. We
Yeah,
had
it
small
was not.
measures. None of-
very small.
Yeah, I mean it's getting better,
Yeah.
but not to the point where
Yeah.
you can really not care about.
Yeah,
it
well,
anymore.
Japan is lagging too much on the vaccine, so
Yeah, but
it
which is kind of crazy because we're getting the Olympics, right? So
Yeah, like it does not make much sense if you think about it. Like, what,
Yeah.
what are
we're
they
gonna
thinking?
be one of the most open country for the Olympics, basically,
Yeah.
because we're gonna be accepting athletes, but we can't even provide vaccine on time, which is kind of insane to think about. But hopefully hopefully the vaccine will be distributed to like athletes.
But I mean, when you see the cases itself from the number from the population of Japan, it's not too high.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also very risky to go out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you go to places like Tokyo.
Yeah.
But even Oita, you can have like 30 plus people per day recently.
Yeah.
If you have been following that. But countries like Malaysia, for example, is getting hit
That's
much
crazy.
worse than Japan.
I feel like we never heard of Malaysia in the news since COVID started. It's like the first time.
I would say, yeah, this is the first time that it caught my attention.
Because
actually.
in the beginning, it was very controlled. We got like
Sorry.
like less than 10 cases per day
Yeah.
after the lockdown started, and now it's like today it was announced to have 9,000, more than 9,000.
That's crazy. 9,000.
Yes,
Well,
it's
that-
a lot of cases.
And
for
these
such a small
9,000
country.
people probably infected more, which is kind of insane to think about.
Yeah, yeah,
like.
yeah. And Japan has been going down,
Yeah.
fortunately,
Yeah.
to like 3,000, 4,000 cases from 6,000.
That's
I hope that
crazy.
it continues to go down because they extended the state of emergency.
Oh yeah, they have extended it until the 22nd of June, if I'm not mistaken, because I heard it
In
from
Tokyo?
no, actually
in,
Oita,
like, yeah, in
Oh, even in Oita? I just,
wait,
not,
I don't
not in
know.
Oita, like the main
in general.
cities like Osaka,
Oh, yeah.
Tokyo.
Okay, like the metropolitan.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just check the chat if we have questions here. As always, I try to answer our good friends here. Buddy Lubo, I'm a fan of. Oh, you have a lot of fan here, Medina.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Eric Bolaños.
Oh,
Medina,
Eric.
you TikTok help me
Hey.
learn Japanese. Hey, there you go. Do you teach Japanese on TikTok?
I have a little.
Damn. You know, true thing, I'm too old for TikTok. I'm 26 and
Oh my
I
god!
tried.
Don't say that.
I tried to on
You're
TikTok.
making
but-
me feel old.
You are.
Hey, that is so not nice.
I mean, you guys are older than I am.
True.
that doesn't mean we are old.
Well,
We're just older than you.
relatively speaking, you are old.
Our good
Okay.
friend.
Well,
You're just a baby.
We talk about her TikTok, so I'm just gonna share your TikTok on the chat if you don't mind.
Oh my.
Oh, share the TikTok. Is it
Right,
going
that's,
to be on screen?
I don't know if you're gonna be laughing or cringing or whatever,
Oh my
but
god. That
please do
is.
enjoy TikTok.
Which one?
Do you wanna
the
show to the
question
camera?
is
What do you
which
mean,
one?
Which one? You have only one TikTok, don't you?
I mean, yeah, I do have one TikTok. I saw that you're gonna show my video.
No,
Thank
not
God.
your video, like your TikTok account. Share.
Thank you. Well, that's actually helpful. You're doing PR for me.
There you go. Go see our TikTok. You can learn Japanese and you can
Oh,
learn
yeah,
stuff about
there's
Japan.
just people don't know enough about TikTok. I would
Yeah.
say like there are some parts I would like question myself about too. Like you know, like wow, why would they put it on
Yeah.
internet?
But it
yeah,
has impact, you know. We already get people that are your fan here, so you know.
yeah.
You have
I
impact on
mean,
people's life.
the contents can be really good and educational too.
Mm.
True.
Mine is like I don't know, in between education
both.
and also fun and also like random things.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's funny about TikTok as well. So when
Yeah.
I downloaded the application, it's like
Mm.
it's so random. Sometimes you
Yeah, I
ju-
would say it is.
It's really random, and sometimes you just feel like you want to have a laugh, then you can laugh. But you know, I tried to use it, and like the algorithm was so weird. I was getting like weird people's in TikTok all the time. So I was like, what the hell? I don't want to see that. So
Mm.
I just deleted the application.
Oh, Medina, there's this person on the chat
Mm.
saying, he's called, I don't know if that's a he or she, but this Buddy Lobo, he mentioned that he's a fan of Medina and he hopes to see you one day. I mean,
I hope to
apologize
meet her
if
one day,
it's
that's
she-
my
It's
dream.
a she, but I don't know if it's
I
I'm
think I
so-
know who that is. I think that's Ruben and the two Mexican twins.
Twins?
Yeah, the
Really?
twins.
Are they?
I mean, if they are, they're my friends.
Please
Yeah.
upload more videos, Medina, to change my life.
Alright,
You're changing
thank you.
someone else's life
I
to
did.
TikTok. Oh, well, speaking of TikTok, like, how did you even start doing
TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say it's pretty much the same for everyone, I guess. Like, you just, you know, start something
Yeah.
out of curiosity. Like, you want to know what's it about. And I have always been interested in, like, making stuff. And YouTube, I have tried and, well, I want to try in the future again. But it was, like, it would take more time. And I saw TikTok. Well, I could make short videos and
Mhm.
still do something I like. And I just created some, like, very random videos just
Yeah.
about myself. I was just reading the comments and replying to their comment, saying like they asked a lot about my nationality.
So you
because-
can like actually talk with the audience as well.
Yeah.
It's not live chat, but it's more like a comment, like
Mm.
Instagram.
yes, so they can comment, right? And when there's a comment, like interesting comment, and you want to reply to it, you can make a video out of it, and people can see the comment, and you know they will know
Mm.
where they're coming from. And yeah, there was really interesting comments asking like, you know.
I love the interesting comments.
And actually, there was one comment saying that I was trying to get, I think, 1,000 followers like in one day, I guess, or like
Wow.
I was just challenging myself, and somebody said it's impossible, and I was just making sad face. I'm sure like it's possible, and people like just cheered me on,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just kept making videos for 24 hours nonstop, and I got a lot more than I actually
Well,
even,
now
yeah,
even
thought
more.
about.
Now you're at more than 50,000.
Yeah, I'm almost, I would say 60K.
We're talking about followers now.
Yeah, followers. Yeah.
Because you have, I think I saw one video that it's over 100K views, right?
Oh yeah, there are some videos
Yeah.
that even like exceeded million views.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well,
I'm
she
pretty
has like
happy.
So okay, you cannot
few-
answer
few
any.
million.
At this point, you cannot answer the audience. Obviously, I mean, there's so many messages.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, we
so,
should make a TikTok right now. God damn it, we'll have a bigger audience here.
Ooh yes.
like
But anyway, sorry.
millions of views on TikTok. That's pretty impressive. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember when we were in AP house and then we shot a video of the phone, of the lights?
of the light. What light was that?
I don't know what, like the music of the Chinese song, whatever.
Oh yes.
And that got like a few thousand views, and you were so happy about it, and now you're sitting at 1 million.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. And so you were basically like how this like for me, if I want to create a video like on for you, so basically we do YouTube. YouTube is obviously more heavy, right? We have to think about a place
you have
like
a lot
concept.
of planning to do. Yeah.
It's not like just I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, this happened, I want to take a video of that, right? YouTube, we probably, nowadays we're getting used to it, so we don't have as much preparation as we had before. But like Lily, which was in the chat just earlier, she can talk about it. But the first videos we made, how long did we prepare for? Like
they
40
would take
hours?
a lot of time, I'm pretty
like
sure.
personally, 15 hours at least.
At least, yeah.
For just preparation.
And for the editor, so
Yeah.
another 15 hours.
That's a lot of time, yeah.
But, so when you do TikTok, on the other hand, right? What's the reasoning, and how long does that take to become like an idea in a video, right? How not the whole process, but until you start making a video, how long does that take? What's the process?
Okay, so if you already know what you want to make, for example, I have an idea and I want to make it, and if it's like a dance or something, it would not take as much as long as you know the dance. But if you're creating like something totally original of yours, you don't have the reference for, that would take a lot more than actually even hours at least.
We should start making TikToks. I kind of want to.
You know, the thing with the TikTok, people usually take it on their own, like with a tripod and stuff, and you have to press and do like, you know, time lapses? Not time lapse, I would say what is the word for that? Well, help me out here, English. Nobody uses TikTok and don't know the TikTok features. Anyway,
time lapse. So
what do you have to go back and forth every time I have to pause something.
Rewind?
Not rewind. For example, I am going to take one shot of me in this scene, and then I'm going to just take 2 seconds, let's say. Yeah. So if I need 2 seconds, I have to put my phone in a timer for 2 seconds. And once I'm done, if I'm satisfied, I'm going to go ahead and put another 2 seconds. That 2 seconds is going to take more than, 10 shots.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You should make money from your TikTok.
Actually, Creators Fund too.
But you what?
There is a Creators Fund in America right now. In Japan, I think it's still ongoing process. It's not
but because
yet.
Nowadays the influencer thing started basically when I was kind of like in high school. Like Instagram came out 2 years later, people were starting to make money out of Instagram. But I feel like nowadays the real influencers are almost going to TikTok as well. Like it's really interesting to see obviously I'm a little bit disconnected from what TikTok is, but you could actually make a career, I guess, from TikTok.
I mean there is an actual word TikToker, so
it's just crazy. Because I know there's one guy in Australia, he asks people about their car and what they do for a living.
Yes.
And this guy was asked to work by TikTok in Australia, like the office. Yeah. And he said, hey, I work for TikTok. We want to have a talk with you. He had a TikTok about that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That is.
Like, maybe we should reorient ourselves. Maybe we should ask Oita Midtown to open an Oita Midtown TikTok.
It is fast developing platform, and you get a lot more views, and you gain followers a lot faster than any other platform, and that is a fact.
But YouTube Short as well is trying to pierce the market, I think, right?
Yeah.
YouTube Short. Funny story. So we shot a video at Showtime, which is the Warau Kanji. We have a video about that on the channel Showtime, and they made a YouTube video, and it was 10 seconds, so it was considered as a YouTube Short. And they just uploaded it for fun, right? They just put it on YouTube because they said, oh, we want to use it on our website. And overnight, the video at 1.5K view or something.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they were like a very small company in the countryside. They don't even know how to use YouTube, right? They just uploaded something and they were kind of viral on YouTube. I was like, that's interesting.
That's the thing with the internet. You never know when you go viral.
So how did it feel when you went viral the first time then?
Oh, it felt, oddly pleasant. Well, I would say I was surprised actually, because that video took me the least time out of all of my other videos.
So just something you made
the most
on the
random
spot.
Thing. Yeah.
Wait, what was
I just
the
had
video?
an idea.
Was it about the eggs?
No, it was the eggs actually. The eggs. So there was this hack that I showed, how to put your eggs on the egg tray in the fridge. So instead of picking one egg at a time, you just put the egg tray and then just flip it.
That's genius.
That's genius, right? Like
I've never
you
done
just
that
flip
before.
it, and then I shared it on TikTok.
I would have watched that. That's genius. I never thought about that. Wow. Yeah, that's so you take the plate and you just like flip.
Yeah, you just put the tray on top, like like this, and then.
Did you actually
flip it.
think about that, or you saw it somewhere for sure? There's no way.
No, actually, it hit me, and then I saw the
Genius.
related videos after
So you just
that.
made that,
Yeah,
and you went viral for the first time.
yeah, it went viral for the first time. Like it was crazy.
But-
And you know what? I think a lot of people got intrigued by it because there are a lot of like smart people out there who think that eggs should be put like it has like one side which is not as
A little bit
like,
longer.
yeah. So it has to be on top. You cannot just do that. It's gonna make
Who
the
the hell?
egg
Just
go
open the
bad.
packaging.
Yeah, who the hell thinks like that?
Yeah.
Uh,
It got a lot of comments to saying, well, it shouldn't be like that. Like just so many comments, which is good for the algorithm.
Well, actually, people commenting is like people are gonna say whatever they want, but I mean it's just eggs in a shell. God damn it.
Well, speaking of eggs and TikTok, you released a video recently about the product at the dollar store.
I
Daiso,
did, yes.
About the
Daiso?
eggshell peeling thing.
Thing, yeah.
Which is okay.
Wait, what?
In my honest opinion, I think that's very stupid. Okay, so there's this device.
Boiled egg, you mean?
Yeah, that is like you buy
There's
it in
this
Daiso, so it's
thing.
100 yen, $1.
Yeah.
So you just put a boiled egg inside, you shake it, and the shell comes off.
That's Daiso technology.
Like that's
right
too
here.
much
It is.
effort to peel an egg.
Yeah, but when you go to
that is
Daiso, it's like an
not.
adventure. You're like, who the hell thought about doing that? Who's the engineer? Like, what the hell?
I mean, you can take like literally less time to do it instead of opening the whole thing, putting an egg in it and washing it afterwards.
Yeah.
You just have to crack the egg, peel the shell, and then you can eat it.
I mean, yeah, that's what I do is like I crush it and I roll it and then I just peel it.
Exactly. I think that was extra effort for nothing.
Right. So there's many questions, but I'm not too sure if we can answer it. But so,
Okay.
Marina, is that true that you saved the life of a drunk chick at 4 a.m. by helping her to get home safe? Are you such a good Samaritan?
What?
Did you save a drunk chick at 4 a.m. by bringing her back home safe?
Oh yes, I did.
There you go.
Who is that? Who
Hey,
is
I
sharing
just-
that?
Eric.
I just made a
It's
promise
Eric.
that we answer the chat. We answer the chat was my promise. Now we had this question, so we answered it. Someone said, "Madina, are you free tonight?"
Are you
Are you free tonight?
Paddy asked that.
I am sorry. I have plans actually.
There you go. Answered. I just make promise to answer everyone, so I cannot break my promise.
Paddy asked you to be a girlfriend in the chat.
Oh, that's sweet.
That-
I'm
that-
already your girlfriend.
That's the kind of answer that means no, but it's kind of like yes, actually. Do you have well, Savina said, I don't know if she's still in the chat, but Savina said, what do you think about the Olympics?
Olympics. Oh yeah, that's a good
Changing
topic that
from
we've
TikTok.
been changing.
Yeah, changing from TikTok,
yeah.
sorry, but
It's totally fine. Olympics. It's a
we go
hot
politics
topic.
right now. Let's go politics.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be too controversial about it. But
Well, real thought is I want the Olympics.
You want Olympics
Simple like that. If I
war.
just
Okay.
say my opinion,
Give
I
us
want
some
the Olympics.
reasons, like why.
Just simple. I put it. Yes, I want because I feel like it's a sign that we're over COVID and we all can gather together and have just a great event. And Japan is good at organizing an event that is safe
definitely.
to some extent.
Well.
Obviously, like accidents are gonna it's gonna happen. We all know. Obviously, people are gonna get infected. But at the same time, like we've been under COVID for more than 1 year and a half. So
Yeah.
my opinion is like there's a cost, but there's a cost to canceling as well.
Yeah.
And like we've gone so far, so why not just like go with it? That's my opinion. I know there's other opinion, and I agree with them as well. But my personal is yes.
I mean, if it happens without any risk, then that would be absolutely great.
Yeah.
There is always risk
But
though.
at the same time, they talk about like the cost that it's gonna take if they cancel the Olympic, right?
Yeah.
And they say it's greater than actually having the Olympic
Yeah.
itself. But on a country's scale, like economically, it's not like that big of an impact
Yeah.
from the whole the money that the country makes and all. So even if they do cancel it or do not cancel it, it's not that big of a
Yeah, the
an
scale
impact.
is so much smaller as well because
and
it's
it's not risky.
it's going to be restricted to like Tokyo basically, and like Sapporo
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think has some activities as well. But
It's less risky if you do not do it. But I personally, if there are no risk, I want it to happen, obviously, because you're in a country where Olympic is happening and it's gonna be big, and
Yeah.
you know, like we had the Olympic torch runners in front of
That was
in
really
Bedford
cool.
too as
But
well. That was really cool. You
Yeah,
went to
that was
see it
festive.
before, right?
Yeah.
like the you know the image is like everyone's like cheering like yeah the flame is coming, but actually like because of COVID it's only like the old people that live in that town, and there's like us and we're like yeah go for it, go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
for it.
But at the same time I'm like COVID is here, so you know I got to be careful with.
But
What
I
do you think? Can we have Medina's opinion? She's
Yes.
a guest though.
Actually, I am on the other side of the topic, so I would say no.
Whoa.
Like, I wouldn't want the
Debate,
Olympics to like, be taking place unless, not unless, as long as people are not like vaccinated yet. Because like
Yeah.
vaccine is going so slow that it makes me
Japan,
wanna
yeah.
wonder like what happens. Like I think if anything goes bad, it's gonna be blamed on the Olympics.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether it's the Olympics or not, I mean, like if anything happens, like,
it's gonna be.
it's so easy to relate it to the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I'm interested, and I think like it's gonna be something refreshing. You know, for the past year and a half, it's like basically dead. So I don't. But at the same time, I understand the opinion that like
Okay, but imagine the case.
Okay.
Like I mean, there is always there is a chance, a
there's
risk
a debate here. I
that
feel
the
like it's debate.
athletes can get the virus too, right? Like there is
Well, yeah,
no one
obviously.
can guarantee that they don't
Yeah,
get it.
definitely, yeah.
And if like the worst case scenario, if anyone like dies from it, like the big athletes, it's you know the whole country is gonna hate Japan for take like
Yeah.
I don't know
Mhm.
take like doing it.
Yeah, it's too
In the
risky
first place.
to have the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both sides. Like I said, like it's not that I'm ignorant of the other side. It's really just like, I don't like katenagara. Like
Yeah.
how do you say like
Everyone-
selfishly, I still want to like
Of
have
course.
the Olympics,
Mm.
and I kind of want to go to Tokyo and just like watch it. But then they said like it's no audience,
Yeah, yeah.
which freaking sucks. 'Cause I
Oh,
don't-
weren't you going to be a volunteer for the?
Yes, so I was called to be a volunteer.
You know,
but,
I want that thing. Like, I want the actual like Olympics. That
Yeah.
There is this whole vibe to it, and why to
Mhm.
force it unless I mean, as long as we cannot have the whole
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, enjoy it from your
It
television.
feels like you're
basically,
wasting the whole event.
Yeah, but like so just to answer, but like I was invited to be like a volunteer in Tokyo. So for the athletes, I would kind of be like not their guide, but like they don't speak Japanese obviously, so I would just assist them. So
Mhm.
probably I would be given a team of athletes, and I would be their translator, interpreter.
Mm.
And yeah, I was called for that, but because it's so uncertain, I feel like they're waiting to call me. It's like I'm gonna be called to go to Tokyo at some point, but like not yet. But I'm not too sure if I want to do it anymore. With like Tokyo is getting really bad. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It's getting better though.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Hope it
Says
keeps
someone
getting
who's going to Tokyo soon. That's why.
Well,
Rush.
I have things to do there, so
Yeah.
I have to go.
I got a question that I actually think is interesting. I don't know if it's a joke question, but I want to answer it. So, what do you think about the people that still go to BSB even though Corona is still active?
Oh, okay.
For those
BSB.
Who, wait,
yeah.
wait, for those who don't
So-
know, BSB is it's short for Beppu Social Bar, which is a bar in Beppu, but more like a club than. a
Yeah,
bar.
it's more like a club, the
Mm.
way you interact with
Yeah,
people
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it's quite a
Mhm,
small
compact,
area,
yeah.
so you get very close. And people, I think there's shisha as well, right?
There is shisha.
So there's shisha smoking inside, so you use the same pipe as well. So it's kind of like if you want Corona, you go there. Basically, is my opinion. But
Yeah.
I cannot blame people for wanting to socialize. Like,
I mean, if you really want to be responsible about the whole Corona situation, then you wouldn't
Yeah.
go. But I can't stop anyone from going anyways,
Yeah.
and I don't hate people for going. So
I think the same because there's still people that work like izakaya and stuff,
Mm.
right? So they still touch the food of other people, right? And
yeah.
the risk is still there. So if you go to BSB, but you work with, for example, elderly people, right? Then you would kind of be, in my opinion, stupid, right? Because like you could indirectly give it to an elderly person. But if you're just like a student and you live in your dorm and then you want to go to BSB to socialize, you shouldn't do it.
But if there's a cluster in among the students,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the university image is going to be ruined.
Exactly. So you're playing with fire.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
opinion.
definitely, yeah.
So I've never been to BSB since COVID started.
Oh,
I've
That's
never been to
good.
BSB even before COVID started.
Well, introvert problem.
Introvert problem. Well, I
uh,
have.
I know.
Not recently, but yeah, I have been there even like during Corona and
Not
well,
recently.
Not recently, actually. I haven't. Been.
I feel like the person was trying to to tease Madina with it.
Actually, I don't know who asked, but
Paddy
if
asked
if
Paddy. Who is Paddy? Is
Paddy,
it your
yeah, that's our mutual
I
friend.
mean, our
Okay.
friend.
I've been going, but at that time I think situation was not as bad as it is right now. And since we got the more started getting more cases in Oita, I started like stopped going there.
Mhm.
And I'm actually like, how to say,
A
not in a,
responsible citizen.
Hey, we have a clap of hands here.
but you
Even
know,
in the
it
chat, can we
still
have a clap of
doesn't
hands in the chat for Madina that's not going to BSB? Please clap in your hands.
look, guys. But I still work at a hotel where I see or you know,
Mm.
socialize with the customers daily basis, and basically even like touch some things without
Yeah.
that would still, you know, give me the.
Well, you still have some contacts, basically.
Yes, I do.
How's the
like-
how's the industry then in hotel? How many customers do you get? Like, what
Oh,
sort
okay.
of
Then
customers?
it's actually a business hotel, which is near Beppu station, and it's like new. That's why we still get a lot of of customers. Then
You get a lot?
yeah, a
because
lot.
because it's new.
Because it's new, and also because it's a good hotel, I would say
Ah.
in general.
It's
But
not
yeah.
too expensive, right?
It is not too expensive, but on more expensive side compared to other business hotels. And I would say, like, since the start of this, what is this situation called? Not emergency, but
Lockdown, kind of.
in Oita there is this
Yeah,
new.
emergency state. I think it is crisis or whatever.
Well, state of
Can you
emergency.
say thing?
Okay.
But not like official one.
Yeah.
Yeah, now official one. Unofficial, not so strict emergency state. The number of customers dropped for sure.
Yeah.
But before that, during what was that? The week, Golden Week.
Golden Week, yeah.
We got fully booked, and there
Even
was
during COVID.
even during COVID, there were so many people just for the checkout, and we were not sure like how much of a risk we were putting them and
Yeah.
ourselves at.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to run your business, and this hotel has not been open for. It actually opened during COVID, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It did, yes.
Because I remember they had like the Gambaro Beppu.
Yeah,
right?
Gambaro, but they had this whole new.
Like, let's do our best Beppu city. Like, there was so for people, obviously there's people that don't speak Japanese. On the hotel facade, while it was in construction, it was written like, let's do our best Beppu. Like, let's overcome COVID.
Yeah, but also because of that, you could see a drastic hike in the number of COVID cases after the Golden Week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's obvious. Like, India can be traced to like they had the festival I think they have in India, and just right after the COVID just expanded.
Oh,
same in Japan.
right, yes.
Like obviously like you can't close your population for so long because like I mean the impact on mental health as well is insane,
Well,
right?
people are starting to not care anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Like even
started,
young
not caring.
Yeah, like I go around and seeing people not wearing their mask when they're outside and
Yeah.
like in groups.
Yeah, even me sometimes like if I just go walk outside, like if I'm alone and I'm not like close to anyone,
Mhm.
I would.
obviously when I go inside I always wear my
Yeah,
mask.
yeah,
but
yeah.
even now I'm like I need to give myself the freedom to remove my mask just like at least when I walk outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. I don't know. It's not that I don't care anymore, but it's like I wear my mask with my girlfriend in the restaurant. You know, it's my girlfriend.
Well, I mean, if you're in a city like Oita City, for example, you
Yeah.
would want to wear a mask because it's such a dense place.
Yeah. Well, not if you compare to the biggest city in Japan, but
Well, yeah.
for people that live abroad, like for me, I'm from Quebec. Like Oita is basically bigger than our biggest city, and it's freaking small for Japan. But
Well, but when, like for example, when we went hiking last week, we
Yeah.
were not like most of the time we were not wearing masks because there were no one in
Yeah,
the
there was
hike
no-
trail at
yeah.
all. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be sweaty and you're gonna be breathing
Also hard to
very hard.
breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
So-
generally speaking, you should wear a mask, and that really helps, I think.
well, you know, like there's a lot of debate about the mask, and mostly like I feel like in Japan people are just like, hey, wear your mask. You know, shut up and wear your mask, right? But I feel like people in America and Canada, for my example, is like, you know, people start asking questions. Where's the study where masks work? And
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
But at
they-
the same time, it's like saying, oh, if you don't wear a coat, you can still be hot outside. Yeah, but if you wear a coat, obviously you're going to be hotter if you wear a coat outside during the winter, right? It's not proven
That's
that a coat,
one
right?
way to put it.
You know, like if you put a mask on your face, obviously some of the saliva is going to be blocked. I mean, there's just logic to it. I mean, is it blocking 100%? I doubt it. Is it 100% efficient? Definitely not. But in Japan, people are just like, hey, you put something in front of your face, probably it's good for not infecting others.
Well, historically, Japan has been wearing masks.
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
some time ago.
So, since SARS, I think, right?
Well,
True.
since the whole influenza thing
Yeah.
that happens in Japan every
Since the
single
beginning of time,
winter.
basically.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. So people don't care, don't mind wearing masks much.
Yeah.
As much as they
Yeah,
do
yeah,
in
yeah,
other
no,
countries.
It's funny
like
because
Europe.
my mom, when she came to Japan, she wore mask for the first time. So that was about 2 years ago. So just like, I think it was 1 year before COVID. So when COVID happened, she's like, nah, I'm already used to it. I've been to Japan, so so she was wearing the mask right away.
Well, people are starting to care less about it, unfortunately. But well,
I don't think it has such a big impact though in Japan because like most people still care. I feel like, right?
Well, I hope the vaccination really helps a lot. Speaking of vaccination, Eric Bolaños, he asked, if Japan is a first world country, I want to know why is it so behind in the vaccine? In Mexico, more than 80%.
That's a
of
good
the
question,
population is
Eric.
already
Okay.
vaccinated.
We're gonna go
Eric.
political again.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
politics.
to give you a straight answer, it's because like Japan has had like a testing period of 2 months.
Yeah.
So they had to test the effectiveness of the vaccine, mainly like from Pfizer and AstraZeneca. So like because of this, it was delayed for 2 months.
Mhm.
That's the first problem.
Mm.
And also like because in the past Japan has invented a vaccine, so and that vaccine did not have really a good effect. Like there were a lot of negative effects of taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
So because of this, the whole the government became very strict about vaccination in Japan. So that's also the reason why Japan has not invented any vaccine yet. So that is the reason why Japan, even though it's it doesn't matter if it's a first world country or a third world country.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think Mexico has good agreements with America, most likely. Like, I think even Mexico produces their own vaccine.
Yeah, and people have been really skeptical about the effectiveness and the negative effects of the vaccine itself, and also like, Japan is a big country where not everyone is densely populated at the same place, except for places like Tokyo, for example, and then you get a lot of small villages. But the thing is that us young people are not vaccinated. It also comes to the fact that there are more older population in Japan compared to younger population.
We're lucky that in Japan it didn't explode because like the elderly would get hit, and there's a lot of elderly that don't care about COVID as well, which is one thing we don't.
Well,
usually
so
talk about,
statistically speaking, there are more us younger generations are gonna have to wait for a longer time. Because they have to vaccinate the older.
Are you gonna get vaccinated?
Yeah,
I want
definitely
to.
because I want to travel.
Yeah, me too.
I want to.
Actually, my mom bought my shot in Canada, and she said, "Just come back and you can get your shot." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd like to come back, but there's no freaking airplane." There's airplanes since like 2 weeks ago, I think. But
I mean, I wish to go back.
Yeah.
But I don't think I will be going back until I get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And Malaysia it's gonna be in lockdown in a few days, so until after I get vaccinated, I won't be going back. So definitely I would be getting vaccinated.
I think 2022 is the real perhaps years that's gonna change something. I feel like 2021 is gonna be the vaccinating year, and 2022 is gonna be the opening year.
Well, if
everything
goes smoothly, we can start to register for the
slowly but
vaccination
surely. Yeah, slowly but surely.
in July.
Yeah.
Most probably.
For people that live in Japan, you might have heard of him. Kono Daijin. So Kono Daijin is the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Japan, I think. And he's also the Minister of Coronavirus, like the whole crisis. And like he said, they didn't trust the vaccine, so they took a lot of time to test it, But they said what that caused is that America changed its priority, and then they gave the vaccine to other countries and to their population. And what happened is then Japan was the last priority because Japan wants to test, then Japan must wait, right? And it was a good decision to kind of be skeptical, but what that caused is Japan is lagging behind, and he admitted that it was the government's fault. So Minister Kono, he speaks very good English as well, by the way, this guy.
He does?
Surprising. One guy from the minister that speaks English in Japan, that's pretty rare. But so I checked, he had a conference, I think, last week, and he said by July, the 65 and older are going to get vaccinated in Japan, just before the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, to answer your question, his question even more about the Mexico getting
Yeah.
more vaccination despite being a third world country is because like the whole law about the vaccination was like it was really improvised to be able to vaccinate all the developing countries as well as the first world countries.
there are international laws, right?
Yeah. So like there's this thing called intellectual property rights, IPR.
Yeah.
So like people who are gonna who create the vaccine, invent the vaccine, are gonna have the property right. By right, they're gonna have the property right for 20 years. Well, in Japan it's 20 years, but I don't know about the other countries. But like because of
we should
this,
start inventing stuff.
well, because of
money
this,
for
people
20 years,
can
Jesus.
sell the vaccines as expensive as they wish to be. But
Yeah.
like they loosen the law a little bit, so
Yeah.
so that vaccines are gonna be cheaper, but at the same time it really loosens it really decreases the motivation of people inventing vaccines because you're not gonna profit a lot. But at the same time, like
we're in a
developing
pandemic,
countries
so
like Mexico,
yeah, it's not like we have a choice.
yeah, they can have different choices of vaccines, and also they can get it at a cheaper price. So it doesn't matter if you're a first world country or a developing country.
I just want to ask one thing to Eric. Then Eric, so in your country, is it like more like Pfizer or I think
AZ.
there's AZ. I
Name
think,
of
right?
the vaccine?
Yeah, which vaccine is distributed? Because I know in Canada it's like Pfizer was supposed to, but then Pfizer canceled. So every country has like different vaccine as well. How about your country? By the way, did you say your country?
I did. I said I was from Uzbekistan.
Okay. How's
But I actually
Uzbekistan?
am not too familiar with the situation and the vaccination in my country
So
right
you
now.
know more about Japan then?
I do know more about Japan.
Shameful.
Yeah, it is such a shame. What a shame. Actually, like as I was doing a research for one of my classes, I came across the fact that there are so many types of vaccinations right now. I think which makes people more reluctant to take one. Like they don't know which one, or
that's true. Which one is the most efficient, right?
It's different depending on the country. Is it?
There are different like effectiveness for each vaccines. Like so far, I think Pfizer has like the highest effectiveness at more than 90%.
AZ is like 2 shots, right?
Yeah. Well, most of them are 2 shots, but they have to store the Pfizer vaccines at a temperature of I think it's less than 70 degrees Celsius or something. But like other vaccines can be stored in like I don't know, less than 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So it's much easier to store these vaccines.
They have to like transport it in like liquid oxygen or some stuff, right? They need to keep it super cold. It's like airplanes in Japan. That's what he said. I remember now because he said that. The reason is in Japan they didn't have the proper system to transport vaccine because they said, hey, we need to keep it at -50, but like we only have ice. So the government had to create this whole route until they noticed that all vaccines have different temperatures. So then they were like, Jesus, we just created this whole system to keep them cold, but now it's too cold for these, but it's cold enough for these. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons also in Japan why it's late.
It's late.
The distribution,
Yeah.
Because they have no distribution line. I don't know the English word for it, but like distribution line for the vaccine.
But at the same time, like Pfizer, for example, it's an mRNA vaccine, like a messenger RNA.
God,
if you know
these guys
biology.
So listen, we're going into science now. Political science, TikTok, we got them all.
Well, traditionally, it has vaccines are not made using mRNAs stuffs. So, like I don't know about the details, obviously.
Well, they recreate the vaccine, but in a dead state. But then the NR is different. Is the idea, right?
It's said to be more effective compared to other vaccines. That's why they have like more than 90%. How do you call that? Like effectiveness. For against the coronavirus. But again, at the same time, like mutation of viruses can happen. So some vaccines are gonna be useless after the mutation happens. But some, like for I think AZ, they work with the Indian variation.
Yeah. True. So you didn't get anyway. Just so Fridos Harris said Pfizer is 95% and AZ is 62 to 90%.
Yeah.
So we have the right numbers here.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, shall we close the subject for COVID? We're good.
Close the subject.
Thank you for listening for the COVID talk. I have many points
Moving
of conversation, but I want to go back to TikTok. But okay, let's skip.
What do we have?
Well, that was one thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead, shoot it.
How is it to be a student in university in Japan? the good things, the bad things, and the things you wish you knew before coming, right?
Before coming to
As
Japan.
Medina, because Medina is, I think, very model student in Japan. Not model student, but we're like, when I imagine a student that live in Japan.
I think there is someone who knows that I'm not a
Don't get me
model
wrong.
student and like, looking at me like, is she? Is she?
All right.
Let me repeat. I don't mean model by like perfect student. I mean like you come to Japan and you enjoy Japanese culture, you enjoy the drinking culture. You're a student at university at the same time, right? That's a model student for me. That's someone that's perfect. That's
Well,
what I
she's
mean.
the typical type of.
Typical, yeah, typical.
Hey, I don't want to be typical.
I mean, all right. Let's be real here.
Just answer the question.
I'm half Japanese, so I know about the Japanese culture. It didn't surprise me as much as it surprised other people. It's only lived in Japan before even coming to university. So, like, you have the freshest idea of what Japan is like.
It's like, okay. So that's actually, almost true, but I did have one like privilege when I came to Japan, which is I knew the language a little bit more than the people who just came. So I had studied Japanese before in my hometown. I want to mention the name because if my director is watching, he's gonna be sad if I don't. Noriko Gakkyu. If you don't know, search. Anyway, so I studied there, and I already knew like the basic Japanese and how to talk, like the basic conversation anyway.
What would
So
you
when
say,
I came,
N3 and
well, I had taken the exam in 2011 last time, and that was N3.
How old were you? 25?
23. Anyway, I was so young at the time, and I had stopped Japanese like when I went to high school. So I was not like practicing Japanese as much when I came to Japan, but I also had the background knowledge. So it was, I would say, easier to adapt because I knew the language. I could make friends easily, and one thing that helped me was like I was really open-minded, like about many things. Surely there like the culture-wise, there were a lot of things that were so different than my own culture, but also. Back in Uzbekistan, I was the different one, so
I mean, even here.
I love that term. I was the different one.
Like different one, like they would say I'm not so typical, at least.
Sorry, so we have an assistant that brings us drinks while we have the podcast. Hey, we have the budget here
we're
at
still
Oita
going.
Midtown. If
So,
you want to be a
I
guest,
need my
let us
coffee.
know. Free coffee, free tea if you want to come.
Yes. Getting
you
back
were,
to
so
the
you were
topic.
the different one. In what form were you different?
Okay, I would say like from the way that I dress or from the way that I act in a way.
The weirdo, we call this the weirdo.
I would say I was the weirdo at my high school, and people would point out the Japanese girl.
Okay.
Anyway.
But were you in anime? Now, what did you have like?
No.
So did you have anything about, like, for example, I think Melvin likes anime, for example. I'm totally random because I didn't know anything about Japan. Actually. What base did you have about Japan? Like, again, not the language, but about the culture. Did you have anything like
that I really enjoyed?
Like, is there like you came here because you like anime, or you came here because you like?
So I don't have that weird thing with the part of Japan that made me come to Japan. It was basically the fact that I was able to speak the language, and I was interested in Japan, like in general.
In general.
In general. So
Japan lover in general.
Yes.
I like it. Oh, not otaku.
Not otaku at all. Yeah.
Like it.
Not a
have
weeb.
watched.
Weeb?
No.
I'm sure she is.
Anyhow,
Secretly
when
a
I
weeb.
came to Japan and APU, like actually APU was one of my goals, like one of the dreams
so you
that
knew
I had
about
for a
APU?
long time. So when I came to APU, it felt like finally I'm here, because I've
And
been
how does it
dreaming
feel
about
now?
it. I wanted to come to Japan, but I kind of got this dream of mine kind of faded away. Like with the other things.
That's so sad. It's such a sad conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like I should cry.
So I got to make a lot of friends because I could speak the language. That really made me stand out.
Yeah, I think that makes a whole difference. Though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you gonna work in
definitely
Japan
helped.
after?
I
after
do have
graduating?
some plans, but I also want to put the marriage thing in between.
Marriage?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're gonna get married?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Do you have a boyfriend? Girlfriend? Market is open.
Yeah, I don't want to share that part of my life, but yeah.
Oh,
In
I
general, I want to put the marriage because let's be real. I am from the country where marriage should happen by not so late. And
so right now you're late, considered late in your country?
well, I'm not on time at least.
In Canada, it's like people marry at like 40 in my country. Like.
I understand, but
Wow.
yeah, I come from a place where people get
I
married
see.
a lot faster, and
So
most
you want
of my
to
friends
marry
also got
before
married.
deciding. So I don't want to go into like nationality and stuff, but
Uh.
it doesn't matter what nationality you marry. You would just
Oh yeah, nationality. Like personally,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind as long as I like the person and he likes me and we understand each other. But again, so this nationality thing happens again depending on their religion in a way.
Yeah.
And it's funny how like I should care about religion when like I am not the most religious person myself. But
But I
yeah, my
understand
parents I would
because
say
I can
like
prove that, yeah.
It's
They-
very
they
different
do.
culture-wise because
Yes.
of religion, right? I mean, I have a lot of friends who are like Muslim or Jew or whatever, right?
yeah.
Where obviously they're my friend, but at the same time, like when we're talking about marriage, it's like there's such a huge gap.
There
at the same
is.
time.
There is.
It's not impossible, but you have to work a lot of differences, I guess. Yeah. That's
would say-
interesting though, the marriage thing, because I feel like marriage in Canada is kind of fading, almost.
It is.
Yeah,
People
like
not getting
my
married
dad and
as much.
my parents are separated, right? So I have two families, and my dad and my stepmother, they've been together for what, like 25 years, and they never married.
Oh.
Yeah, live happily for
that's
25 years. They have
one-
like child as well.
Not so new concept. Like I would say, not in. Also, maybe happening in Japan too.
Yeah.
But not in my country.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Mhm.
yeah.
Japan is it's very like it's a weird country. A lot of people
Weird
like
country.
a lot of people marry very young, but a lot of people like just struggle at finding someone. Like there's two gaps.
Yeah.
They're like
I mean, people are too busy with work and
Yeah.
I would say
they
yeah,
are too
they are
serious
busy.
about their job, so they don't like
Oh.
tend to get married.
We did get like off the topic of the Japan though. You have an interesting question?
yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know this person. This person. Well, first of all, the name is kind of funny. Getting ripped tonight is the name. And he said, Marina, why in Japan most of the girls talk like a 12 years old and say "Oni-chan" a lot? And do they think they will
gosh.
become more attractive by doing that?
That's a question.
Actually, I want to ask the same question to all Japanese girls, maybe. No, not all.
I
but
love that question.
Well, that's kind of sexualized, sadly enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think anime has a lot to do with it.
Well, before that, let me just clear this by saying that this is not true. Of all the Japanese girls that I've met in my life,
I have a girlfriend for 3 years. She never called me.
nobody
Never-
said
never happened.
Oni-chan.
Never
I have
happened.
never met anyone. I think
Yeah.
you watch too much anime.
Yeah.
And
Again, like-
you know, different type of.
That's what
anime.
I said. Like one thing I can tell to the audience is like if you're an otaku or a weeb, and then your image of Japan is built around this idea of like the Oni-chan idea, you're gonna be
Oni-chan
disappointed
idea.
when you come here. You're gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah, you will.
But if you want to live that thrill, go to Harajuku. You know, the Kawaii Street. You're gonna have some fun. But outside
Yeah.
of Harajuku, it doesn't happen. Doesn't.
Hmm.
I feel like it's just like it's part of the culture because, you know, of like the Tokyo is, because people like see Tokyo like the Harajuku for example, right?
Mm.
This kind of kawaii culture as like it's all around Japan, but hey, you go to the freaking countryside here, it's all farmers with their konnichiwa, you know what I mean? Like it's such a restricted culture, but it has so much influence worldwide
Mm,
compared to what the actual culture is all about.
Mhm.
yeah.
But I think it's still like kind of funny that people have this image that all Japanese girls are like, "Konnichiwa." Like
They are
my girlfriend has such a
generalizing it
deep
so
voice.
much.
My girlfriend is like, she's not even cute with her voice. Swear to God.
So she goes like Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Oni-chan.
But
Wow.
I love the name. Getting ripped tonight.
Oh,
And Harris said, "Damn, Japan is rude for me."
No, we don't want to do that. Well, Japan
Well,
has
just
a
go
lot
to
to
Harajuku.
offer,
Yeah,
except
go-
for Oni-chan.
Go to a maid cafe. You'll have some fun.
You will.
It's so
maid-
expensive, like maid
I-
cafe and stuff.
Have you ever
Okay,
been to
your
one?
question.
I've been
Have
to
you
a maid
guys
cafe,
been to
I
I
think.
have not.
Wait. You said two
to
A maid
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 cafe.
Cafe?
maid cafe. I've been. Yeah, my first week in Japan, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What
So
was
I
the
think
motive
that was
on
the
that?
motive to come to Japan, wasn't it?
okay, so true story be told. I took the airplane to Asia, and I said, well, the closest country to Canada is Japan, so let me go
Ooh.
to Japan first, and then I got addicted.
The closest country to Canada is Japan.
Like, are you being
Have you
serious right
studied the
now?
geography?
Canada is here, and then there's the first island, which is Japan. You could argue that you could go down,
What
but
happened to the US?
it's not Asia.
Asia.
You're talking about Asia.
Yeah, I said
Alright.
I want to go
Asian
to Asia.
country.
Sorry.
Ah,
Yeah.
right, sorry.
So, yeah, I was just going to Asia, and I came to Japan, and then I was volunteering in a green tea farm, and that was so cool. I was like working with elderly ladies, and they were cooking for me all the time, and I was eating like Japanese traditional food. It was amazing.
Wow.
And but they spoke only Japanese, so but it just like pushed me forward to say like, because I was very young in my mind. Like I always lived like my mom is very controlling, right? My mom did everything for me. I wouldn't even call for a reservation. So when I came to Japan, I was like on my own, and that was kind of thrilling. And then like 6 years later, I'm still here.
Wait, what happened to your maid cafe story?
So maid cafe
Oh, yeah.
story.
Maid cafe.
I was in Harajuku, and I was like, man, what the hell is this? And I was with my buddy from Australia, and we just burned 4,000 yen.
Was it worth it?
4,000. Okay.
Hey, I got a good pancake, and I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. So it was interesting because I'm not a weeb, so I was like, why the hell does she dress like that? That's so weird.
Did she cast a spell on your pancake?
Yeah, like the thing is, I'm not even close into the otaku culture. I
Me
don't
neither.
even know about the Orichan word before coming to Japan. Right? That's how disconnected I was. So when I went there, I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why is everyone so freaking weird? I felt like I was like on freaking Mars.
I mean, you went to the weird part of Japan, like
Yeah,
not the normal
but-
part.
Even for Japanese, like regular Japanese, right? That's still like a weird culture for them. Like even,
Nah, I don't. I
they're
don't
like
think so.
like my girlfriend, she's like, I don't know why people do that. It's just weird.
I mean, people don't question the existence.
Yeah, like it's part of the culture, but
Yeah.
it's still weird why people turn out to become otaku, even for Japanese. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like for someone that's a typical Japanese.
Oh yeah, who's not otaku?
Yeah, my girlfriend's not otaku, so she's kind of like me, but now she started watching anime actually. My girlfriend. She's
Hey, you gotta watch out.
yeah, you better watch out. She's gonna turn into otaku.
What if she calls you Oni-chan one day?
Ooh.
King, king.
Oh,
So you
gosh,
want
really?
it?
Well, I live in Japan now, so I'm used to it. I don't know. Maybe getting ripped tonight would be happy. Otaku for life, don't hate on us. I love otaku now. I think it's such a funny part of the culture.
Funny part.
Yeah.
Is that
Funny
in a
part.
good way or a bad way?
I mean, he means it good.
It's
right?
interesting for me.
Interesting. You want to
Yeah,
find
don't say
out?
either.
Listen, I shouldn't state my opinion. Just go with your opinion. Okay, the conversation was all about me. Let's turn the conversation. But so you were not an otaku before coming here, right?
I wasn't.
But when you, the thing I don't understand, right? So for me, I learned Japanese because I was here, so I had to learn Japanese. But why, if you're not an otaku and you just left the culture, why, from your 12 years old, why would you start studying
Learning.
Japanese? Yeah,
Okay.
why?
So I was actually lucky enough to be born in the place that I was born, which is Rishtan, and that place Rishtan. It's the name of the city.
city?
So I was born there, and there was this Japanese school free of charge, which was like built by
What?
Japanese. Anyway, so it
We need this
goes
again.
back as like I think 1998.
Mhm.
Anyway, that place was kind of famous. I mean, the city was famous
Yeah.
for that Japanese school, and every
For
local
free?
student, for free. Every local like kids used to go there at least once. I mean, in their lives. And I went there, even
That's
though it
amazing.
was so far away from my like home. Like
Mhm.
I still have my house in a very like countryside.
Yeah.
It's a village anyway. So I used to go there because my dad actually took me there and wanted me to like study something that is not so typical.
Mhm.
Japanese was it. And I just started going without even realizing I'm not learning language, and I just kept going without actually that I'm like realizing I'm studying. So when
So
I was doing that,
Kind of ibasho, right? Like
Yeah.
place to be, right? It just felt good to just go there. And spend time.
exactly. So that's how I ended up learning, being able to speak Japanese.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So it just came naturally after going to that place. Like it's like a hobby that became like a language learning.
exactly. And that place also like is, as it's free, there was not like teachers all the time. So we would have these volunteers or people who were traveling who would just come by and teach us.
Mhm.
And sometimes it would be our senpais who know better than us who would teach. There, we
So now
didn't
you
have
could
like
teach
any
over
fixed
there.
schedule, anything.
That's
Actually,
really
by the
nice.
time I got to high school, because I was, I think I got the N3 level,
Mhm.
which was kind of the higher level in our school. Like
Mhm.
I started teaching,
Yeah.
which kind of did not work out with my schedule because my high school kind of got busier and I started learning English. and I did not go to the Japanese school as much. Yeah.
But it's a good tool, I feel like, in like a Asian country to speak Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Well, nowadays maybe Chinese is taking more space than Japanese, but I feel like it's such a good tool for people from Uzbekistan, whatever, for your career development. It's so good.
It is.
But
I
in
would
Canada,
say.
it's like, where I'm from, Montreal, there was like 2 Japanese in the whole town. And it's like two dudes that they don't even know why they're in Canada. When I talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, I just came here to study. I'm going to go back home next month. Like, nobody comes to Canada. It's too cold. So sad. Oh, we have a question.
Is it true that 7-Eleven in Japan can open a portal to another world? Yes.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I
it
did
depends
not
on the
hear the
time that
question.
you go to the 7-Eleven. Like if you go from midnight 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., there's a 17% chance that you will see a portal. If you
Was that a challenge? What are you talking about?
that is only for 7-Eleven. But
I'm
if you go
lost.
to Family Mart, it's a 31% chance, which is a higher chance. Very surprising.
Hey, what the hell
I
is
don't know why
going on
we're talking
here?
about this.
Okay, wait. I want to have a debate. 7-Eleven, Family Mart, or Lawson?
7-Eleven.
I would
All
say
the way.
Family Mart, but I owe my life to Lawson because it's right beside my house and helped me a lot.
Lawson. I don't know why
I'm
people love
shocked.
7-Eleven so much.
7-Eleven
Their
has
ice
the
cream is so
best
expensive.
food.
Alright.
They have the best snacks and the best obento.
Have
I
you seen my
don't-
belly? That's all Lawson.
I don't see much.
No,
You should
I'm
check.
hiding it. Look.
I don't enjoy 7-Eleven as much as the other convenience stores because
Yeah.
we have
You didn't
7-Eleven in
explore
Malaysia.
as much, people. You didn't.
But that's a good debate. Like I feel like every foreigner that comes to Japan really build like an opinion on which
Alright.
convenience is the
If
best.
you want to have fried chicken,
Yeah.
it's Family.
Family Mart.
Definitely.
Okay.
Family,
Are
no,
you
Family
guys
Chicken.
comparing it by the family Mart chicken?
I mean, you don't even call it fried chicken. You call it
Famima.
famichiki.
Famichiki. Ah.
Yeah.
There is also spachki.
It's so popular that it even has a special name, right? I don't know. And they had like I remember 2 years ago it was 100 yen for one piece,
Oh,
And
now
I-
it's like 180, right?
right? So
It's almost doubled.
I feel like they just murdered so many chicken, but it was so good. I was going every day ordering 3-piece. Ah, life.
Hey, but
I was so
would
broke.
say, like, considering that there are a lot more like vegetarians and also like Muslim
Ah.
people, still like the companies are not taking as much initiative to offer, you know.
Well, there's no need in
vegetarian
Japan,
friendly.
right? Our reality is
There are
better,
like
but
few like stores
yeah.
like, which offer like very limited. I think in the bigger cities.
Yeah. But like, so I think now there's a bit of people in the chat, but I think most of them are from Beppu. But if you don't have experience outside of Beppu, you don't know what it is. But if you go to like Kobe, they're not flexible, right? I think like finding halal food or vegetarian option is like so hard.
Yeah.
But when you come to Beppu, it's adapted.
Ah.
But because of the Olympics in major cities like Tokyo,
Yeah.
for example, they started to have more
Yeah.
halal restaurants.
Yeah.
Koko Ichiban, for example, they
Yeah.
have like
They-
halal restaurant
they
in
do?
Tokyo, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
and there's a lot of even Joyful. I think they reworked the menu. Joyful
Mhm, yeah.
also
They
has
work?
I don't know about halal, but I feel like they have.
Mhm.
And like,
That's good.
but obviously Japan, I think like these kind of trends that starts abroad are always kind of lagging in Japan, but eventually it'll come. But like I remember when I used to live in Kobe, like yeah, pretty much anywhere you're going, if you're a vegetarian, get those potato fries. I mean that's the only thing.
That's the best they can do.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Japanese people, like they have no interest in becoming vegetarian. It's really not a trend, right?
Mm.
Plus, they're eating so much fish that they don't see the impact of maybe meat like we do abroad.
Mm.
Like I remember when I was in Canada, my mom would just buy like pork, but like this much pork in one day, and then at one point in my life I was like, hey man, how many freaking pork do we kill in my family just to feed ourselves? Like it's not. I think it's not healthy for the family and for the earth, right? But in Japan, like you never see a family that eats that much steak and pork every day, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like the impact might be
Less.
less, but
Less.
definitely a lot of chicken in Japan.
Because of the diet.
A lot of chicken. Yakitori is so good.
Especially in Oita.
We should go to Kaede tonight.
Where?
Kaede is it's a Canadian guy that has a yakitori
Oh,
Yeah.
here in
cool.
Oita. And we've been for one episode for it down.
Mm.
Down, down.
But shops close in closes in.
Now that the amount of
Yes.
foreigner increase.
Yeah. Last order is 8:30.
Question from Eric.
Eric,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
active one.
Eric Bolaños.
Now that the amount of foreigner increases, do you think that there is any racism from Japanese old people to foreign student?
Oh, racism.
I mean, a straight up answer
Sensitive
is yes.
topic, but
Well, obviously there's going to be racism. I think you cannot say no to that.
yeah.
But
But it's been happening all over the world too.
yeah, exactly.
Towards
not- it's
Asian people, but here in Japan it's more like to foreigners.
It's
Yeah.
not too big of a problem. The
Yeah.
only thing they will say is like, oh, you're a foreigner, you might have COVID, but that's just it.
yeah, but they're
I
not as
heard a funny thing though.
Go
Oh,
for
go
it.
ahead.
You're the guest. Go for it.
Oh, okay. I heard a funny statement, which is actually I think true.
Mhm.
That Japanese are told not to go out to eat with the foreigners.
No. There was a
I
okay.
don't know.
So there was a statement that was
This one, yeah.
given in, I don't know if it was a company in Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So they said like do not eat with foreigners, which obviously is not a good thing to say in public. Well,
it's
even in
not.
private, it's not a good thing to say. But they did apologize for it and said that it was a misstatement from that.
Misstatement. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, true things come
but
out.
there are ignorant
though.
people. Yeah, there are ignorant people in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah,
But they're not as they don't confront as much as like foreigner.
They imply that's even worse.
Yeah, it's like delicate racism.
Oh yeah, very delicate.
Mm.
Yeah,
Not
it's
like a
not like
brother
it
punching
to your
you.
face, but it's just
Yeah.
comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's-
But
yeah, exactly.
from my personal experience, like not everyone thinks that I'm a foreigner because I speak Japanese. But from my experience, with other foreigners as well, people treat us fairly well, or sometimes
yeah.
even better than how they treat Japanese people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's much of a problem, especially right here in Beppu,
Mhm.
because people are so used to having foreigners here. And I think it's the same for other parts of Japan as well. It's the really small population of Japan that makes a big news, and then
Yeah.
people are going to misunderstand like, Japanese very xenophobic, so they kind of get the wrong idea. But
Yeah.
in the end, it's not a really big deal in Japan compared to other countries that are against Asians, for example.
Yeah, like you won't get punched in the face for being a foreigner. Like
Yeah,
like you see in
definitely.
America, like you're an Asian, you get punched in the face. Like that's crazy. You would never see that in Japan, right? You don't get shouted at, but you could be left behind, or you wouldn't be invited to a certain place, or sometimes they wouldn't talk to you because they're just scared of you. For example, when you speak English, right?
I
Mhm.
see.
I feel like it's more like very delicate racism, but at the same time, like as soon as you speak Japanese, you kind of become their hero. They're like, what the hell? Why do you speak Japanese? Where do you come from?
Oh yeah.
How long have you been in Japan, right? And then it doesn't stop, and it's always the same question. But
It's so, how did you learn? How can you
yeah,
speak
yeah.
so well? You know.
Oh my God, only 3 years. Oh my God. Like, you're like-
exactly.
yeah, because I want to learn. Like, yes, you studied 5 years English, but you didn't care about English, so that's why you never actually learned it. People are so bad at doing like Jikohan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I never felt like I mean, I've experienced like slight racism, but not to the point where it was actually influencing anything to me. Like,
Oh.
not that I care.
Okay, let me tell you something that
for
happened
it.
just yesterday. So I was
Yesterday?
at work
Jesus Christ,
yesterday,
okay.
yeah, and I felt the racism coming towards me, which I'm gonna share and get your opinion on that. But there was this customer at work, and I actually am doing check-in for her, and
Mhm.
she has to sign something, and
Mhm.
I give her a pen. And we do sanitize our hands before, during, so many times during work, and we don't obviously show them all the time, but we do. And when I'm giving her the pen, she looks at my name tag, which is in katakana.
Ah.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, just put it. And I put it, and then she takes out this whole like sanitizing thing, and and then she wipes it, and then she signs it.
Ah.
And well, I was kind of, like.
but she must be a
keep that-
weirdo.
It was that moment when I felt that this pain just punch in the heart, like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, maybe it wouldn't be so hard on me if she didn't look at my name tag first, and then, like,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, my opinion is she's probably an outlier. Like,
Mm.
there's always these kind of like weird, like for example, I was, without telling any names, I was working somewhere at some
Mhm.
point, and I just remember the lady was like, because we were foreigners, she was so much stricter on us. Like we have more chance to get COVID.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no. If it's a Japanese staff or it's me, like if you get COVID, you get COVID. Like I'm not. That's because I'm
Yeah.
a foreigner that I get COVID more easily, right?
It's not like more.
It's like this kind of mentality, but at the same time, like it showed all throughout her personality that she was kind of this kind of like weird minding. So my opinion is yes, it's racism, but at the same time, it's an outlier.
It's a Japanese version of Karen.
Yeah, she's a
Oh,
Japanese
yeah,
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, like don't do this, don't do that, and then to the Japanese staff, she was just like, be careful with COVID. But at the same time, like she was, just
Weirdo in general.
overall, she was really a bad boss,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Mm.
So there's just bad example in society, and you were just not lucky to have her to like that before. But sad for you though. Sad for you because I feel like it's so rude. it's actually so freaking
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah, true. Definitely.
I mean, you don't want the person's virus on your hand, but
Well, but like I said, it's really a small population of
Yeah.
Japan that does things
sure.
like this. Like for
I'm not
example,
generalizing. I'm just giving the
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that happened to me.
yeah. So
Yeah.
don't get the wrong idea that Japanese people are
Yeah,
harsh on
the people who are
foreigners.
watching, there are
Mm.
so many great people who really care and
Yeah.
who love foreigners. I would say.
There's more
Yeah.
people that love foreign that hate them. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
But-
But it doesn't mean also that
Yeah.
you're not gonna experience any like sort of racism at all. It's not gonna happen. I think in any part of the world, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of racism, I think, in the workplace in Japan. Like a lot of their
Oh yeah, the workplace is
the
a whole
workforce-
different story though.
yeah, like the labor, like building buildings
Mm.
and building like like in factories. There's a lot of Vietnamese workers actually that come from abroad, and they're kind of used in Japan just to cover for this lack of labor that they have, and a lot of time it's like the Vietnamese people get treated really bad in the company. Like
Oh.
yeah, like in COVID, there's a lot of Vietnamese that come for that, and you just hear like horror stories. But at the same time, like the problem is like you never hear about it that much. Because I lived there, I heard about it, but I never saw it on the news, right? So I feel like there's also this. If you come to Japan for working in a factory, for example, like a Vietnamese people,
Mm.
usually they're not really professional staff or whatever. They just like
Yeah.
they put some stuff together, right?
Yeah.
Small work. Yeah, this can be very hard, but for us, we go to university in Japan and stuff. I don't feel like we're gonna have that much racism compared to it. But I know for a fact, like be careful to where you work in Japan for sure.
Yeah, some
Yes.
places might
Yeah.
be really harsh. on
Like
foreigners.
like dark places.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like industry, I would say.
Yeah. But I feel like if you work in a factory and you're a foreigner in Japan, then most likely you will have a bad boss. But there's a lot of good example of good bosses. Like I remember there was this boss that gave I think like 2 weeks off to all his Muslim staff so that they could enjoy the Ramadan or some stuff like that.
Oh.
But it's not
that is very
Ramadan. It was
thoughtful.
another celebration that they have, and like he gave them 2 weeks paid, so he paid for them. And in Japan, you don't have paid holidays, right? So it's all this bad example, but good example as well. Right? They don't balance each other because bad is always
Yeah, always
it's always heavier.
highlighted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more highlighted and it's heavier. But
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully in the future we can change it. Like we're the
Hopefully.
foreigners in Japan. Let's change it.
Yes. Go foreigners.
This
let
guy
me see.
said, surprisingly, I've met more racist people in Beppu than Tokyo. For
I think
3
that's
years.
them, isn't it?
I think that's him, yeah. Even the slogan of the university is shape your world, and students don't accept this idea. Well, in Beppu, I
But
don't
I
know.
think
I
I get
personally
his
never
point,
experienced
though.
it.
The thing is, when you enter APU, you're so used to foreigners that sometimes you might say something that you don't feel is racist, but you're like, oh, I would never say that to someone from that race or religion. But I'm like, I have so many Muslim friends that sometimes I just crack a joke and I'm like, oh my god, I could never say that to like a Muslim in my country that I don't know. But I'm so like, I mean, all my friends are from different countries and I don't have no Canadian friends here basically.
Okay.
So I cannot really be racist without, obviously I try not to be racist and to, not touch touchy subjects, but I get what he means by like sometimes people are kind of
insensitive more
is the
than
word,
like
yeah.
rather than being racist, they are more
Yeah.
like insensitive
Yeah.
at
Yeah, yeah.
times, which they don't even realize.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you experienced racism?
No. I mean, okay, so this is a very old story that I have. Okay.
Oh,
so
you're not even old. Can you stop that? You're like 22,
Yeah, you
21.
were saying you're not
God
the
damn
old
it.
one.
All right, it was like more than 10 years ago.
Okay, you still remember? Good.
Good memory.
Well, because it was a bad
were you
experience.
5 or 4?
No, I think I was
you were in your mom.
6
your
or
mom,
7.
You were in your
Okay.
mom womb.
So, okay, so
Got it.
I used to study in a Japanese primary school for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
In Malaysia?
No, in Japan.
In Japan?
Yeah.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
In
I was
Japan.
already missing part of the story.
All right. So like when I studied in primary school in Japan, so there was this guy who I made friends with, and then we used to like hang out in the park and whatever. So one day he had this like a candy that's shaped like a cigarette.
Ah, yeah.
So I asked him like, can I get one? Because you know it's just a candy, right? So it means no harm to me or him.
Mm-hmm.
So but then he gave me an answer saying no.
No.
And I asked him why, and he told me because, oh, my mom told me not to give you because you are Malaysian.
Ah,
Which doesn't make sense at all. Like,
so
why
weird.
Why that candy in particular? Like, is it like a stereotype that foreigners should not be doing anything that represents smoking? I have no idea, and I still have no
maybe
idea.
just a racist family, but that's really freaking racist.
Well, I didn't
That's
mind.
so
I didn't mind. I
sad,
didn't quite
though.
mind, but
As
it
a
was
child, I
really
would have
weird
cried my
experience.
ass off. I would be like,
Like, why would a parent tell this to the kid? Like, why?
Yeah, that's
don't give the Malaysian the candy. Like, I don't understand. Well, another racism. I don't know if it's a racism or he just hated my ass. But
Yeah.
so there was this another guy. I think he was from a different class, and then we used to play dodgeball together during sports. So he was always he's from different classes, so he's on an opposing team.
Mhm.
So he always threw the ball at me for whatever reason.
Okay.
Well, that's maybe because you were the best player. You were the
Yeah,
most
it
I
could be.
definitely was not the
Oh,
best
you were,
player.
were not so
I was not even close to
aesthetic?
being good, but I being myself, I just tried to challenge him, and in the end, he gained nothing from it. But that was like the racism that I have felt in Japan as I grew up. But that was
As a
just the
kid.
two small cases.
You were.
But
you
other
were
than that,
young.
it's
Yeah, I've never been in school in Japan outside of APUs. Well, I've been to Japanese school, but it was only 4 years. So
Yeah, it's not a big deal because they are primary school students.
yeah,
So obviously their whole mindset is not really.
yeah. When you're
mature.
young, I mean, you get bullied in school. You get called fat or small or whatever in
Yeah.
school and high school. So I mean,
Oh,
But
whether
how about the
it's
university?
race-based,
Because
I
I have
think-
felt it
yeah,
during APU actually, like once.
well,
There's a
the
racism?
thing about
Yeah.
the thing about this is because of the whole mindset of how people want to be like communal and uniform in Japan.
yeah.
Like
Mm.
if you stand out, there's something wrong with you. Like
Yeah, I get that.
like I have darker skin, so if you have a darker skin, you must be a foreigner, and if you are a foreigner, you are a harm to the Japanese group that
Well,
we
they,
have.
they are
like-
what they
you are the
always
odd
use
one
the news,
out.
right? They don't know better, right? So
Yeah. I wouldn't blame them, obviously. I hope that they are better people now.
yeah,
But yeah, it was not a big deal. It didn't like psychologically affect me in any ways, so I'm fine. But
yeah.
yeah.
It goes for you,
For
but
you.
yeah, I mean, you can get bullied on anything that's up to you, like ugly shirt or ugly legs, like like young people are just young people. So at the same time, it was race based, but it could have been something else.
Mm. Yeah,
as well.
definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, you said you had an example.
I
Do
did have
Can
an
you talk
example.
about it, or can you not?
I can actually. Well, it was a party, not a big one. I think my friend was celebrating her traditional kind of festival in a way at her home, and we
Bar mitzvah?
gathered.
Are you talking about bar mitzvah? No.
No, not really. Anyway, I think if I say a little more, it will be too obvious.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so we gathered at a house, and then there were a bunch of people that I met for the first time and not for the first time. But we kind of had this incident where like the host of the party kind of got sad, and I was like cheering for her and like kind of taking care of her.
Mhm.
And we were not so close, but I also like I cared, and I am at her party, so I want her to feel good.
Mhm.
But she was not. And well, obviously she was Japanese, and then the reason why she was having problem was because of another guy who was also at the party. So I just couldn't stand it, and I talked to the guy, hey, can you just do something, like she is in this mood because of you, like just do something, please.
Classic Medina.
Yeah, I just put my nose into something that I don't belong to at times.
Yeah, you
Just for
shouldn't
the
have.
sake of my friend. I always have a reason. Anyway, so and then this another girl, Japanese girl, comes on to me saying, actually saying, the hell up in a
Oh,
much
nice
worse.
sensor, nice sensor.
Yeah.
The sensor was on time. Nice.
Yeah, and anyway, so I was told that I should not have an opinion on that because I don't know the Japanese people. Like, it's not your business. You're not Japanese.
Oh, that's just stupid. I mean, it's just blatant stupid.
Yeah. So I was technically told, hey, where you come from? You're not Japanese, right? So it's not your business. You don't know anything about Japan or Japanese people and how they, treat their friends and like. What does it have to do with my nationality right now? Because I'm just talking about her and how she's not feeling good. And she's like, no, that's not how Japanese people do it. Just stop. You're not Japanese.
He just doesn't want to be confronted.
Anyway,
that's
so that felt like the first time actually when I felt that I was being discriminated. Yeah,
direct racism, I would call it.
Yeah.
I've never had that. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that
really
was
sorry,
one sad
guys.
story from the APU life. But let's move on to something like much
Well,
brighter.
Okay.
I think we have
this
questions.
guy, his name is I'm not Japanese, and I love his question. He said, "Is it true that I can marry an obachan, despite the huge difference of age?"
Actually, you can do that in any other country.
Hey, bro,
in any country, you
You
can.
do whatever the hell you want, okay? If you want a
Yes.
cougar, you go for a cougar.
Go for
okay?
it.
Nobody judges you.
And get my residence visa.
Oh, okay, it's about that.
But then he started
And he
flirting
said
with
like,
you.
I don't want to go back to my country, but maybe he can marry Medina instead.
I'm actually not Japanese. Sorry, I don't have to.
If you're interested in living in Uzbekistan, maybe you can think about that.
Well, that would take a lot more convincing to do for me
Yeah.
to go back to
Why is
Uzbekistan.
everyone trying to date Medina? Can we just have a talk? It's so annoying. Maybe she didn't switch. Maybe she hated you. She said maybe. So he's talking about the person that said I don't want to give you candy because you're Malaysian. But he said maybe it's not because you're Malaysian, but just because she hates your face, Melvin. Which I kind of agree with.
How old was I? I was like 6, 7 years old. Why would you hit my face when I was 7?
Just say that to Tim, okay? It's Tim's comment.
Don't worry, you're cute.
And then Harris said, did someone say fat? Hi.
It's fat in real life. That's
He's
why.
fat? Melvin still gets aim in dodgeball in Malaysia too, don't worry.
Do I? Do I?
And Tim said, Madina is definitely going to date a Japanese.
I am gonna or I'm not.
Well,
You
she's
are going
seeking
to
for
date a
Japanese,
Japanese.
that's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Well,
make a bingo, maybe
that's-
that's in 10 years.
An opinion, I would say. Yeah.
We should make a bet, $20.
I would say she will marry Japanese too, yeah.
Well, I mean, me, I'm going to marry for sure, I'm pretty sure, eh?
You're gonna marry?
Maybe, who knows?
Cool.
I mean, we've been together 3 years, so who knows?
Well,
I
Next
don't,
up on the Oita Midtown Channel.
I don't think Medina wants
we
to
wanna,
openly discuss about it.
stream it. Your wedding.
yeah. He can
People.
be the wedding person. Not the wedding, but the how do you call it? The ring bearer. No, the ring bearer is like Lord of the
Ring
Ring.
bearer? The one
Lord of
who
the
brings
Ring.
the
How do you say that?
proposal?
You know who
No, you
carries the,
already
how do
have-
you call the person that carries the ring
The ring
ring
bearer.
bearer.
in the marriage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was only a Lord of the Ring term.
No, you actually call that ring bearer.
Otaku. So, let's see.
We have like 7 minutes left for that.
Yeah, only 7 minutes. God damn it, we talked so much, and like I have like almost like 20 more points to talk about. But
Oh
hey.
shoot.
Christ, I have to go to the toilet.
Yeah. Well, 7 minutes is fine because I think it's gonna be time to. It's getting dark already.
And restaurants are closing.
Yeah, I'm so
Oh.
hungry.
Me too.
Let's go to the final point.
Yeah. So shall we
What
close
was the
it?
last point?
Japanese is in plural. No.
Japanese what?
If you have a last
Japanese.
question, go for it. Because we're gonna close in 7 minutes. So let's take the last question and do the outro.
Let's talk about a little bit more about Oita Midtown Channel and what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah, you
Right.
guys should do that.
So right now, like we are at our 3rd episode for the 2nd season.
Yeah.
If you have not watched that yet.
So our first 2 episodes were with Hidaka-san, which is a professional actress, news anchor in
news
Japan.
anchor.
Well, she does it as a job, so she's on TV every single day, and then she came to help us.
Mm-hmm.
On
Yeah.
the 4th one, we go to a. Do you want to announce it?
Well, we went
It's
to
coming out.
a
It's coming out
factory.
very soon.
And it's going to be interesting, yeah. Well, we plan to release every single Sunday if schedule allows us to do so. We're going to be doing a lot of outdoor activities, don't you think? We're going to go
Yeah.
to places
So last season we focused on things you can do
Like
in fall and winter.
Yeah.
This season is all about spring and summer.
And food.
So yeah, and
maybe food.
we're a little
maybe
bit
not.
more free because we're only 2 people. We get to move a little bit faster to the prefecture. So yeah, season 2 of Oita Midtown. We have 3 episodes that are out. Please check it out on the channel. I mean, if you think it's boring or whatever, put it in twice the speed. You know, it doesn't matter. Just watch it. Tell us your comment in the video. Tell us what you think, what you want us to do. If you have any constructive comment as well. 4th episode is supposed to come out this Sunday, but obviously we have to deal with a schedule because we work for a company, obviously.
We have like plans to do quite a bit of outdoor activities like hiking or go to the sea or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, if we can.
Well, okay. So let me just announce without telling too much detail. But the 4th episode, we're going to a factory in Japan that produces some of the most popular sweets and cakes in Japan, and everyone knows about this place in Japan. So we were allowed to go into the factory and see the whole process into making the food, and I got to put my hands in it. Not gonna go further with that. Next episode we shot it this week. This
next episode, the episode after the factory, we already shot it last week.
Yeah, this week. So we shot this week. The 5th episode. It's gonna come out a bit later, maybe next week. Let's just say we climb a mountain and we saw a freaking beautiful view. It's amazing. And tomorrow we're shooting the 6th episode, and the guest will be Marina. So she's gonna be the guest for the next episode, which we are going to shoot tomorrow, and it's gonna come out in 2 weeks on Sunday. Again, this one I guess we shouldn't tell where we're going. We're gonna keep it a secret, but we're gonna be Instagrammable. Let's just go with that. It's gonna be really nice. Please look forward to it. Please subscribe to the channel. We work really hard on this. We're students, so obviously we're killing ourselves into making videos, but we think they're very interesting, and Oita deserves YouTubers because Oita doesn't really have YouTubers.
Yeah.
So we need to freaking get Oita out there.
Yes, we should.
Yeah, so if you want to see more of Oita, watch the videos. We're going to shoot one with our beautiful Medina tomorrow. It's going to be a, let's say, Instagram trip. Well, are you coming tomorrow?
I am. I'll be there.
Okay,
I'm
she
looking
just made a
forward to
weird
it.
face. I wasn't sure she was coming.
I'm
So-
really excited about this because we get to do a lot of challenges. You guys should definitely check out.
So we're becoming a little bit more YouTubers also. So we're dropping the more formal to a more YouTuber style videos now. We're trying to be more active and more talking to the audience. So look forward to it. Comment, like, subscribe. Please, if you watch a video and you think there's length, put it in twice the speed. If it's freaking good, watch it in normal speed. If it's whatever, leave a comment. I love you. Thank you for watching. And today's podcast is close. Over.
Close, yes.
So guys, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and for the people who commented and
Yes.
share their opinions, ask questions. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So Eric said, you look amazing. Medina, we love you. You look amazing. Fulson is watching, and Buddy too. Shout out to Buddy Chan.
Bye.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Hey.
Oh, this one. This camera.
Bye bye.